Welcome to the Angel Empowerment Show from I Can't to I Can with your hosts, Cindy Smith, and co-hosts, Deb, Nola, and Sam. In this show, airing every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, gain more insight and practical, intuitive tools to bring more clarity and purpose into your daily life. You can listen or be involved in live professional angel card readings on transformationtalkradio.com so you can heal, thrive, and grow in your life. And you'll experience it all with 4 of the best in the field. The Angel Empowerment Show starts now.
Here we are. Welcome everybody to the Angel Empowerment Podcast Show live here on Transformational Talk Radio. My co-host tonight is Nola Peacock, and we are excited to talk about love and nurture. And we're going to be working and talking about a saint tonight versus an archangel. So we're really going to work and connect with Saint Brigid tonight. So I'm really looking forward to that, Nola. Right?
Me too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
February, we think February, the month of love. And so let's start the February month with Saint Brigid, because she is definitely love and compassion. So I'm going to start. I want to give a little history of my relationship with Saint Brigid and the vibration of Saint Brigid. I'd heard of Saint Brigid over the years, but really didn't understand the story behind Saint Brigid until I was in Ireland, and Maria and I were doing our very first Celtic Angel tour back in 2013. And we were on the bus, the tour bus, and we were headed to the Saint Brigid's well. And our bus driver started to talk about Saint Brigid and the connection and why she's celebrated on February 1st. And in that process, he says, Saint Brigid was born and passed away on February 1st. So she was born on the first day, passed away on her birth date. And I looked at my mom, because my mom was traveling with me on the first, she was on the bus, and I looked at her and I said, well, that's interesting, Mom, because we'd already been told that my birth name, Cindy, in Gaelic was Brigid. And I said to Mom, did you know any of this when you named me Cindy? Because my birth date is February 1st. So here we were sitting on the bus going, oh, well, I think I got a little bit of a connection with Saint Brigid, and I'd like to really learn more. So that started my connection with Saint Brigid. And ever since that day, I bought a Saint Brigid's cross on that tour, and I've never taken it off. So I am definitely, I work with the angels, I'm connected with the divine, but I am definitely connected with Saint Brigid. So February, to me, is also the month of Saint Brigid, and it's my birthday month. So it's a great month. Right, Nola?
Yes, it is. It is.
So
you get to celebrate all month, right?
And was Deb's birthday, our other co-host, was it yesterday or the day before?
Day before.
So she's another February birthday too. So when you think Saint Brigid, Nola, before I read a little bit of description of her, but what do you think of when you connect with Saint Brigid?
Well, I just get, the feeling or the sense of love and compassion and nurturing. And I think, especially for ourselves, right? Remembering that. And she helps, at least for me, to let go of judgment. And that's both, for other people, but mostly for myself, right? Because we can be really hard on ourselves. So yeah, I like to call on her when I'm, when starting to go down that rabbit hole and, being negative. It's like, help me turn this around.
Yes. So I'm going to just share with our listeners. And this comes from my friend, Maria O'Farricara. Carr, who gave me this kind of message around Saint Brigid to be able to share. She did this a few years ago. So Saint Brigid's Day is a Gaelic traditional festival marking the beginning of spring. It is held on February 1st, which is about halfway between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. Historically, it was widely observed throughout Ireland. Brigid, meaning fiery arrow or power, is often called the triple goddess or the triple mother. She was goddess of poets, feminine crafts, the hearth, martial arts, healing, and inspiration. She who gives hope and new beginnings. The Celtic Church could not replace her, so they absorbed her as the foster mother of Christ and as Saint Brigid, the daughter of Druid Dougal the Brown. Brigid is very like the Greek goddess Athena, the goddess of wisdom, yet she also has the nurturing warmth of the heart, the home, and the hearth within her. Saint Brigid lived from 4050 to 525, and she died in the 525 on the same date she was born, February 1st. She is the lady of healing waters, wells, and springs. Many wells in Ireland are dedicated to Brigid, and the waters are believed to be blessed with the healing grace of the lady. With this energy, Brigid brings remembrance of our oneness and is an awesome affirmation of the eternal essence of the divine feminine. Some of her symbols and correspondences include fire, sparks of fire, candles, forges, hearth, sunrise, sunbeams, springs and wells, oak trees, acorns, lambs and ewes, dairy cows, milk, spears and arrows. The list keeps going on. Snowdrops, blackberries, ivy, crocuses, clover, heliotrope, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, heather, and the color green, white, black, red, and yellow. Saint Brigid's cross and the corn dolls. Goddess Brigid is an all-encompassing aspect of the divine feminine and remembrance of our divine power. Goddess Brigid is a devoted and steadfast ally to any and all who call upon her. On February 1st, I invite you to spend some time that's, we talk about what traditionally we do on February 1st, but that's a long readout of giving a little bit of history of Saint Brigid. I think for me what really stood out was because I went to the Saint Brigid's well the first time energetically I connected to her, but I get such a sense of compassion and that love and the healing waters. So when I connect with Saint Brigid, it's also an aspect of healing, an aspect of love and compassion. Those are my three main things. But like, as you said, Nola, she really helps you with that stopping self-judgment. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah. Passion for me, right? So it's still, that.
And, I could, for all of our Irish listeners or Irish descent, I could definitely be getting this wrong, because I remember our bus driver, Michael, and I send him so much love. That man was amazing. And he taught that on February 1st, they would make his family would make a new St. Brigid's cross. And so it was made traditionally and would replace an old above the door. And another thing they used that for was for protection. Okay, so I wish I could remember the name, because one of the tours, Maria arranged for us to actually make the St. Brigid's cross traditionally, and I can't remember what. If she was on, she'd be able to tell me what they make it out of. But I remember him saying that it was his youngest son that each year made a new St. Brigid's cross. So they would remove the old and place a new with new energy. And so February 1st is celebrated in Ireland. And I, of course, for me, I thought, well, that is no coincidence that I've so been drawn to Ireland my whole life. And here, February 1st. So my mom she went, wow, I named you Cindy, having no clue that was also referred to as Brigid. And it was Saint Brigid's birthday, my birthday. So that's
so
kind of
special.
cool. So what else here we're going into February, Nola, and it is our month of love, right?
Yeah.
So what do we want to share with our listeners around nurturing and love? What's your go-tos?
Well, I think for me, I mean, as long as I can remember, I've always thought of, February as the month of love. And I remember hearing, as a teenager or early 20s, right? And people would not like it because, Valentine's Day and they didn't have a date or something. And it was never like that for me. I thought, okay, this is the month of love. And how can I just show anybody that I love, that I do care. And so, some of the things that I've done is, send out a bunch of cards, right? Because it's always nice to get mail. But also for my daughter, Krista, I used to put a positive affirmation on a heart-shaped sticky note every day in the month and then put it on her bedroom door. And this year, I thought, well, she's moved out a couple of years ago. It's like, okay, but I want to do something like that. But what else can I do? So this year, I've created written out affirmations, and I'm posting them on social media every day this month, right? Just as a way to give. And, the beautiful thing about that is, giving and doing something to cheer someone else up or let them know that, that I care, I'm thinking about them. But it also, right, it fills me up. So I think, that's what I guess I hope that our listeners will get, is how important it is, to love yourself up and do the things that fill you up. Because if we don't, then we're giving from, a half empty cup, right?
Right.
And it's much better. I mean, I still remember, one time being at an event and somebody had a glass of water and poured it. Actually, I think you've done it at Angel Day once, but I've seen it several times, right? Pitcher of water, and then until the glass is overflowing. And that's where we want to be and be able to give from that place. And so, this month is also about, doing those little things for yourself, right? What are the things that you can do? So, whether it's making maybe, a coffee date with a girlfriend or going for, a walk with someone, just thinking about those little things that you can do to treat yourself, to nurture yourself, because life is so busy, right? We often have a great big long to-do list and we're busy, we get one thing done and we're checking it off and moving on to the next one. And we often don't take time to acknowledge all of the things, that we do. So that's, something else I would invite our listeners to, sit down and make a list of some of the things that you've done, whether it's over the last month or, maybe the last couple of years, and just, what is it that you've done? And it can be, maybe you smile at someone in the grocery store, right? Make a difference. And we don't know, right? I mean, I've heard people who, were having a really bad day and, maybe somebody, bought them a coffee in the drive-through, right? Paying it forward, and it just totally turned their day around. So, I think when we acknowledge those things that we do, whether it's, I got up this morning or I made my kids breakfast, just acknowledging ourselves and going, hey, I'm doing a pretty good job. And I think it just, makes such a difference. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agree. Now, since you're doing these beautiful messages, tell everybody that's listening, where do they follow you? Where do they find you on social media?
Well, they can find me on Facebook, just my name, Nola Peacock. They're there, but then there's also a link to my Facebook page, which is Confident Happy Families, because I'm also writing out affirmations for kids. So if you want them just, simple and related to kids stuff, there, you can find them there. And then my website is probably the easiest way for people to reach out. They can book a complimentary call, and we can talk about, brainstorm things to help their kids. And it's just nola-peacock.com. So easy to find.
And what about Instagram?
Nola Peacock as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so, I'm thinking I need to be, good on you to
I've
get
had
that
so
going.
many comments, and people are saying now I look forward to your daily posts. So it's, so it's a good thing. It holds me accountable, make sure I do it. But I mean, the beautiful thing is for me, because I love creating these posts, I love playing on Canva and doing it. So as I'm doing it, it's filling me up, because I'm picking the affirmations, and it's ones that I use myself, and then I'm, sharing it. So it's a win-win, right? So, and so many things like that, right?
That's beautiful. It's it's when, it's my buddy Jaden and I, we just taught a course this last week in our spiritual financial freedom, and it was level 2, and we were really focused on that balance of giving and receiving, and really taking a look at in depth wise, where do you give and where do you receive? And so again, it's that, as you're talking about nurturing, as we're, this month of February, and nurturing ourselves, it's so important, and so many different levels, to be aware of your balance when it is to giving energy and also receiving energy, giving love and also receiving love. And I think sometimes we can tend to take for granted how much we are receiving, right? Or we push it off as, I don't know. I always like to make sure that I take time to receive, right? Because I need to fill my cup up also for the amount of the energy that I put out there in the world with the angels, for sure. So,
well, I think so often about, when we get a compliment, right? Like if somebody says, "Oh, I like your dress," or whatever, and in the past, like way back, I'd like, "Oh, like this old thing," and I think now, I mean, I take them, and it's like I take it in, right? And I think that's so important for our listeners to remember, right? To be able to receive that and let it land. And some kind, at first it can be a little bit uncomfortable if somebody's paying you a compliment, and it's like, oh, right. I mean, or I would turn around and compliment them right back. But now I take the time and let it sink into my heart and fill me up. And and I remind people too, when if I say something nice and they're pushing it off, it's like, don't do that, because that it goes for everything. So if we're used to doing that with a compliment, it'll be the same if somebody's offering us help or receiving money, right? And I'm sure that's part of what you and Jaden talked about, right? If we're used to just pushing things away, we're going to be pushing abundance away in our life too. So it's important to be open and receive and let it land in your heart, right? Like just feel it. It's amazing, right? When you get those special,
absolutely,
words or little gifts or whatever. It's just acts of service.
I just had to look at the date to see when Valentine's Day is. So it'll be the day after next Monday, our next podcast show. And so I think, in our write-up too, sometimes, because, how do I put this? There's been so much commercialization around Valentine's Day. And, for somebody, let's say they don't have an intimate partner to be able to share Valentine's Day. I send out to all people to celebrate Valentine's Day, because if you celebrate yourself first and celebrate the love that you have for yourself, then it's easy to share love with everybody around you. And so think of, Valentine's Day as, I'm celebrating love today. And then, yes, I have a husband, a man that I love dearly. But if it starts with me, then it's easier for us to celebrate together. And, for all of the listeners, whether you have an intimate partner or a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or you're on your own, use the whole concept of Valentine's Day, that Cupid love, for yourself first. Mm-hmm. And then celebrate the day. Do something special for you, regardless if you're on your own or with somebody else, with your pet, like any kind of experienced love vibration. It's really what it's about, love vibration. And it starts with our own. Then if you want to add some extra, you call in Saint Brigid or Divine Creator. The archangel that we use for love is Archangel Jophiel, but you can call in and ask for universal vibration to give you a boost. So there's so many things we can do for ourselves on Valentine's Day, besides the traditional, absolutely do something that you love to do, because that increases your vibration and that celebrates you. What do you think, Nola?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think that's, the part where, I ask Saint Brigid to help with that judgment, because sometimes, like, as you said, when Valentine's and how it's been commercialized, and there's these expectations, right? And so if you don't have a partner, or we don't meet the standards, the normal standards, right? Then there's that judgment around, my life isn't as perfect as other people's. And that's where, if we can ask Saint Brigid to help us to let go of those expectations, and then make the day or the month exactly the way that you want it to be. Like, as you said, there's all different kinds of ways that you can celebrate that love for yourself, right? Going for a massage, or, making yourself a special dinner or whatever, and just, let go of those expectations. So, great when you can call in Saint Brigid and, ask her for help with that, and that compassion around for yourself. Cause we're hardest on ourselves, right? We can,
yes.
We the way that we talk to ourselves, the things that we say to ourselves are, we would never say to our friends. Right? Again, asking her for that, help with that compassion, because sometimes, especially if we've messed up on something, right, we can be really tough. So yeah, asking. So.
And one of the messages that Saint Brigid has given me over the years is because I'm visual, and I get flashes of pictures and symbols. And I know I read off all these different symbols that over the years she's been connected to, but I see baby lambs. And because, we've been to areas where we've been around the baby lambs when we're in Ireland, but she shows me the baby lambs because for me, it represents gentleness. It's something about, they're just so innocent and so pure. They're just the cutest little animals that you possibly could ever be around. And it's gentle, compassion, love. And she flashes the lambs in my mind's eye often. And when she's doing that, it's really a reminder of that pure, unconditional love and that gentleness. And so to me, it's reminding myself to be gentle with self. Mm-hmm. And that's if you think, well, what does compassion mean for self? I think of it as being gentle. Stop being hard on past, stop worrying about future, and really just focus on the now in such a gentle way. Who doesn't love the beauty of those little lambs?
Right? I know. I'm thinking, I love that visual.
Well, and one of the places that we stop when we're doing the Dingle Peninsula, we go to this place and they have baby lambs that our people on the tour can actually pick up and hold and feed. And it's the cutest. It's one of the highlights for a lot of people to be with those lambs. And I get it, because it is that purity of the energy of them. I mean, it's why we love our pets so much, because it's pure unconditional love.
Right.
So yeah, I think of Saint Brigid and that compassion, gentleness, but you know, she's got fiery power. So if you need a real boost too, and get into action, she can also make that happen too. But I really think of her as healing and gentleness.
Yeah. Well, and too, what's coming through is, you know, if you need that reminder about being gentle with yourself, you know, maybe find a picture, right, of a little lamb.
Yeah.
Have it on your screensaver, or, you know, or even a little toy lamb, and put it on your desk. I like having those visual reminders. It's like, oh yeah, I need to be gentle.
I think we've recently redone my vision board. I think I'll maybe find a little picture of a lamb, and that just as a reminder to be gentle on self.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, Nola.
Well,
now I know we're going to be coming up on our break soon, but just for our listeners, I'm reminding everybody that the last half hour of our live angel empowerment show is we pull cards and give angel messages. And all you have to do, if you would like a message, is in whatever social media or whatever platform you're listening or watching our podcast, just type your location and first name, and our producer will let us know. You can also phone us in live and talk to Nola and I direct. You can either ask questions or we'll pull a card for you. And it's 1-800-930-2819. They will connect direct. Now, one of the perks to reaching out to us live is our producer will put your name in a little hat, and I'm going to give away today on this live call we've got on February 12th, we have a unique session that's through the Cindy Smith AEP Wellness Center. And what it's called is Messages from the Other Side. And they're our sessions, and you're going to have 3 of us, so the 2 different sessions of spiritual mediums. And we're going to be giving messages from your loved ones on the other side. It's an hour long, and you have the opportunity. You can go and book on there, but I'd like to give away a spot. So we're connecting to the other side for you, is how I refer to it, to somebody that's crossed one of your loved ones. So we've never done this before like this. So I think it'll be fun. So all you have to do, reach out to us live, and your name will get entered, and then I'll be able to contact you to give you the link to join us on February 12th. So Nola, anything else you want to say before we go to break?
Well, I would like to give away a 30-minute angel card reading to one
Beautiful.
of us.
So everybody hear that? Join us live, and you got option to win 2 things. So, and we love giving these messages every week that we do it. It brings us so much joy, doesn't it? Nola?
It does.
Because this is what we do. This is what we love to do. And so think of us as just the conduit for a message from your angel team is basically how it works. Okay. So we're going to go on break. Remember, 1-800-930-2819, Nola Peacock and Cindy Smith. We will be right back with the Angel Empowerment Show on Transformational Talk Radio. Hello, everyone. We are back on the Angel Empowerment Show, Transformational Talk Radio. And our theme tonight has been working with Saint Brigid and love and nurturing self. That has been our topic. We are switching into being able to give some angel card messages and guidance for our listeners. So Pacey, if you want to tap Bobby in through the phone line, that would be great.
Alrighty, Bobby, you are on the show.
Hey guys.
Hello, Bobby. I've missed you.
Yeah, I missed you too.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Got a question. How do I connect with Bridget? How do I connect with Saint Brigid?
Okay, that's okay. So, as you know, as we normally do, get yourself, grounded, connected, centered, and just as when you're inviting the archangels in, just ask Saint Brigid to present herself. So maybe it's a feeling, maybe it's a knowing that she's there, because she's been in physical form, because she lived and passed, so she's been in a physical body. Sometimes her energy can be a little heavier than the archangel energy because that she has been in physical form. But ask for a symbol, Bobby, something that's going to, how I see baby lambs, how I was sharing that. Ask for a symbol, because that will be the easiest for you to know when she is there. For you, I'm going to just give you a message from her. Is that okay, Bobby?
That's perfect.
Okay. The message that how we were talking about compassion for self.
Yeah.
She's saying to really accept your own gentleness. No changing your gentle spirit. And basically saying no, and stop from ever allowing anybody to try to change your gentle spirit. Like, your gentle spirit is very, how is she saying it? Well, it's almost like it's important. I really feel this sense, your gentle spirit. It's almost like she's comparing you to that little lamb, that gentleness, and really encouraging you to maintain that gentle spirit. Does that make sense, Bobby?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. I mean, because you're still strong, your spirit is strong, but it's almost like she's really wanting to acknowledge how gentle your spirit is, and that fun loving person that you are. It's to keep that and honor it.
Okay.
No letting anybody change that. Okay.
You got it.
Okay. So
Perfect.
and so did that help? It's basically, think of how you connect with the archangels. It's just knowing that Saint Brigid she's got maybe a little heavier vibration because she's walked on Mother Earth.
Yeah, matter of fact, I can kind of feel her sitting off to my left, just slightly in front of me, and it's like she's holding my hand right now.
Beautiful. That is awesome, Bobby. Yes. Yeah, it's such a beautiful energy. And she's gonna continue to keep trusting in your gentleness. Okay.
Okay, kind of like what Ariel says.
Yes. So, all right. So thank you for calling in once again. We always love to hear from you.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you, Nola.
Thank you, Bobby.
All right.
Bye for now. Okay. Bye-bye. How about you pull a card for Amy in Kamloops?
Okay. Now I'm going to use the relationship deck.
And remember, anyone, please call in at 1-800-930-2819, or just put your name, location, a question, or just ask for a card pull, and we'll do that for you. Go for it, Nola.
Okay, so Amy, thoughts create outcomes. My child, a gentle reminder that all thoughts are created within you and sent out to be heard in universal vibration. We, the divine, ask you to be more aware of all you are creating through thoughts and thought patterns. And I'm drawn to the affirmation. It says, I create positive thoughts and manifest positive outcomes now. So it's like, Cindy and I were talking about earlier and asking Saint Brigid, to come in and help us to have that compassion for ourselves and that nurturing for ourselves and being gentle. So, maybe you need to find a little lamb to put on your, on your desk or picture in your phone or something, just to remind you to be gentle with yourself. And also, I'm getting a little, playfulness, right? Because those little lambs they're very gentle, but they like to jump around and, be nurtured, be cuddled. They just seem so cuddly. So just, really, really having that compassion for yourself. Cindy, do you want to add anything?
No, I think that's great. Thanks again, Amy. So we have Andre from Canada, and there's a question around anything. Mom is helping with kids for the week as wife is on work trip. So I'm just going to see what comes up, Andre. And interesting, because I used a relationship deck, and the card that came up is release past experiences. And so what I'm getting for help for this week, because it's something different for both you and your mom, let go of any expectations. I mean, like, wipe out expectations of what the week is going to be about, and really just allow it to unfold and sit in that piece of gratitude that it's happening. But the release previous experience, that card come up for a reason. So it's letting go of any old, what you expect, how the week's going to unfold, and allow for that positive experience and really be in gratitude that you have this experience with your mom and with the kids for this whole week. And I hear the other direct, I hear from your angels, you got this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got this. Wave was away for a week. You got this. So thank you very much, Andre, for reaching out. So I'll let you pull for Dorothy from Dawson Creek, and then I'm going to do Serena from Edmonton because she's a February girl. So,
okay.
So you go ahead and do Dorothy.
Okay.
And again, Andre, thank you so much for reaching out to us.
Okay, so Dorothy, change and energy cords in relationship. My child, unconsciously, you are energetically building up and exchanging vibration within relationships. You share a connection naturally through energy cords, which include love. When asked, we assist with removing unwanted negative emotions, such as frustration, which may be experienced periodically. So Dorothy, the angels are letting you know to be taking care of your energy, and asking your angels to help you to change up the cords, so that there's just pure love flowing to and from. And
I'll add something here for you, Nola.
Okay.
So Dorothy, if you're new to working with energy cords, please reach out to me, and I will send you a chapter from my book, and it will teach you how to be able to change up energy cords. So if this cords come up, it's just saying sometimes we hold old energy with the people that we love. And I can tell you that I change up energy cords with my own children, just because it isn't just about anything to do with negative. It's to do with keeping your own energy intact. It's how we burn out. So if you send me off an email, Dorothy, cindy@cindysmithaep.com, just say, hi, I listened to the call. I'd love that chapter you were talking about. I'll absolutely send it to you. Okay, does that help, Nola? Because I always believe when that card comes up, it's a message that you're giving too much of your own energy with the people that you love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Does anything else you want to add, Nola?
I'm just drawn to the blue kyanite. And so,
Okay.
That might be something that you want to, if you don't have, that you might want to get a piece of blue kyanite. And it says, I work with you to release the energy built up of repeated patterns that no longer serve you, keeping the energy of love connection intact. I also rebalance your energy after releasement, creating a state of readiness for new.
Beautiful. So once again, thank you very much, Dorothy. And I said, just reach out to me. I'll give you a chapter of my book. Okay. We have Serena from Edmonton, and she's another February birthday. So sending that out. Let's just see. I'm using the Inspire and Change and Healing with the relationship deck with the Angels and Crystals. One of the decks that I've created. And there was 3 cards that came here, but the one that is the strongest, Serena, it's beliefs in my relationships and allow for change. This is a direct message that I'm getting for you from your team. Allow certain relationships to change. It's like, what are they? There's one relationship they're telling me that you would like some change with, but it begins with you allowing the change. Whatever that means is what I'm hearing. The message from Archangel Raziel on the card, it is, my child, allow us to bring to your awareness belief patterns which no longer serve you in relationship interactions. Some beliefs may support healthy relationships and divine truth, and some may block positive experiences within relationship dynamics. The crystal is labradorite, and the affirmation is, I believe I can change and enjoy new experiences. But they're focusing on one. They're focusing on one relationship, and it might feel, and it could be a friendship. You just might feel stuck. There's something stuck energy in a relationship, but the direct message is, please allow for change. It's almost like you're expecting that there will be no positive change. Okay. And I just want to say, have an amazing month, because this is our birthday month and we deserve to love ourselves. Well, we should all the time, but I love my birthday month. I celebrate it the whole month, right, Nola?
Oh, yes, me too.
And mine's on the 1st, so I got the whole 28 days.
Oh. Perfect.
Nola, anything you want to add for Serena?
No, I think that's perfect.
Okay, so I'll let you pull for Yvonne in Saskatchewan.
Okay. How to best love myself at this space in time. Whoop. Okay. This one just fell out. So, life is incredible. My child, life is great. Reflect on all the good you have created in your life and relationships. Continue to ignite infinite possibilities to be in joy, love, and support in your relationships. Be happy you created the joy. And what really jumped out at me was that all the good you have created. So again, sitting down, maybe making that list of all of the things that you've done. And sometimes I'll get people to write out 100 things, right? 100 successes. So again, it can be little things, right? That you smiled at someone, or, but I think when we sit and actually look at all of the things that we've done, so all the good that you've created, you may be pleasantly surprised. And I think, that's a great way when you realize, oh, wow, look at all of these things that, that I've done, or that I'm creating, or making a difference for people. That's a great way to love yourself up and just acknowledge yourself for all of that you've created. And I'm drawn to read out the affirmation for you too. I create an infinite flow of joy, love and support in my relationships now and always. And as I'm reading that, Yvonne, I'm just getting such a feeling of joy and love and gentleness. So just acknowledging you. I mean, that, that's what I'm feeling, is that it's coming from you, and what the people around you, how blessed they are to be friends, or to know you.
Beautiful message.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have Jennifer from Calgary. And if possible, I'd love a message on how to best love myself at this space and time. Now, before I pull a card for you, Jennifer, practice. How are they? Start your morning out by asking to create an action that loves yourself. So, even if you want to make a commitment, maybe you do it for the whole month of February, or maybe you do it 2 or 3 times in the week, or however you want to do it. But it's like I see you waking up, before you just fly into your day, how can I do an action to love myself today? It's the action that the angels are highlighting. It's about doing something that is in an action state that shows that you love yourself, and allow to do something different. Allow and ask your angels for the support, the divine, however you want to ask them to guide you, and really have some fun with it. That's what, how can I best love myself right now at this time? It's doing something in an action mode. But I will also pull a card for you, Jennifer. And interesting, because you got the perception is projection card. And I'll read the message. It's Archangel Jeremiah. My child, when, due to past experiences, you perceive others or a partner to act, feel, and express in a certain way, your perception can hold them in a stagnant position because you keep from changing your own perception. This is like always seeing the shape of a box and never allowing the shape to change to a circle. So perhaps the angels are saying perception of self. Okay, it's more about perception of self. So when you're working with how can I do some action to show how much I love myself, be aware of your own perception when you're doing that. Because they're really focused on, it's because you say, how to best love myself at this time, which is a beautiful question. I wish everybody was asking that question. Jennifer, matter of fact, I think every one of our listeners should be saying, how can I love myself at this moment in time? Because that is such a beautiful question. What a way to almost end our show with, don't you think, Nola?
Yes.
So, the crystal is any calcite, working with that. But I know the perception card come up because they're really asking you to take a look at your own perception of self when it comes to love. Right?
Beautiful.
That's what I'm getting. And I love that. What a great guidance. Like, really, let's all make that commitment to ourselves. Wake up in the morning and say, what action can I do today that tells me I love myself? I love that. Like, I'm going to do that.
Right. Make it a non-negotiable.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to start my day off by asking myself and my angels, how can I show I love myself today? Like an action. I love that. Jennifer, you don't have no idea how excited you've just got me. I think I'll be doing some posts of that on social media.
Right.
Don't you think, Nola?
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love it. What a great way to start our day.
Yes. So can you believe our hours always go by so quickly. Mm-hmm. So I just want to, giving gratitude to Saint Brigid for assisting us and sharing her vibration with all of our listeners. And also letting everybody know that next week, next Monday, which is February 13th, because I said it's a day before Valentine's Day, I will be with Deb Weinberger. She'll be co-hosting with me, and we're going to be talking about relationships and angels. So we're really carrying on this theme. So it'll be your relationships and angels and how they can help. And then also the relationships we have with our angels. So it'll be a combination of both, because again, it is Valentine's Day coming around the corner. So that is next Monday. We will be live, and as always, we'll do angel card pulls. So what would you like to close with today's session?
Well, we just invite our listeners to, pick one thing every day to do, right? For themselves, to nurture themselves first, and make that a routine. And whether it's, what we just talked about, asking your angels to, help you come up with one action, or just making that part of your daily routine, doing something that nurtures you and that fills you up.
Yes. So I will maybe we still have a few minutes. So I think what I'll do is I'll give, just like I did for Bobby, and ask for a direct message from Saint Brigid. So I'll just do a couple minute direct message to all of our listeners from Saint Brigid. My children of love, surround yourself in the vibration of love. Accept, feel, and know. Perhaps at times it is easier to feel the divine love as you know its purity. Allow to feel that divine love and connection in the purest form. And then allow to feel your love for self. Feel your heart center, heart being with love. Follow through with acts of love and kindness to self and others. To all my children of love. I like that she refers to children of love. Isn't that a great?
That's beautiful.
Yes. And so,
our prize winners,
we have our prize winners. Dorothy was pulled for
the class with you.
Okay, Dorothy, you were pulled for the class with me. And so please, and I think I said reach out to get the chapter. So email me, Dorothy, Cindy at cindysmithaap.com. It's easy to find on Transformational Talk Radio also. And I will send you a link to join us for one of our little mini workshop. And Nola, who won your reading?
Jennifer. So Jennifer. Yes. So if you can send me an email, nola@confidenthappykids.com, and then we'll arrange a time for a reading.
Beautiful.
I'm excited. Beautiful. Yeah, because she sparked that, take that little action every day.
Yes, we'll be sending you gratitude energy, Jennifer, for sparking that whole action of loving self and what can we do each day. So I'm going to keep bringing that up in the calls throughout February and find. So Jennifer, I don't even know your last name, Jennifer, but I'm going to say we're going to be referring to Jennifer, who was the one that spearheaded this action from the angels. So Nola and I our whole podcast team will be sharing with you how well we've been doing every day to see about making that happen. So once again, thank you everybody who follows us on the Angel Empowerment Show on Transformational Talk Radio. We love sharing this hour with you and sharing the divine vibration. So we will see you again at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time live next Monday, February 13th.
Thank you for listening to the Angel Empowerment Show from I Can't to I Can with your host, Cindy Smith, and co-host. Learn to empower you with angelic guidance every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com. It's easy to tap into your divine self and trust in your angelic guidance. Let Cindy and co-hosts give you a loving push to explore your potential. For more information, go to cindysmithaep.com. That's cindysmithaep.com.